Well, howdy friends, it's Wayne Polson coming to you from SM Heartland, and as I promised, I'm going to start cranking out some videos here. I'm going to at least try to. We're going to see how I can get this momentum rolling here. This is going to be an RV video, so those of you who are RV camper enthusiasts, this will especially hit home with you. We had a situation come up, I don't know, about a week and a half ago, where we couldn't open the entrance door. This latch would pull freely like this, but the bolt stayed in and would not release from the striker plate. So Susie had to crawl in through the window, and she couldn't open it from the inside. So I had to crawl in through the window, and I had to do some major disassembly of everything on the inside in order to get the broken latch out of the striker plate. It was an ordeal, folks. It took me probably an hour to get this door open. It's a little piece of white metal, cast white metal that just cracked just from use. So once I was able to get the entrance open, we knew that we were going to have to order a new door latch assembly. And so the search went on to try to locate that. I called the local RV dealership here, and they didn't have the part. They were telling me that they could order it. It would take a week or so to get there, maybe 2 weeks to get there, and it was going to cost over $300. So I cranked up the search engine and started searching here from home, and I found out that if you look at the keys, what you will find is that there is a brand name on the key. Can you see that? So that brand name is Trimark, and evidently they make a lot of these products for the RV industry. So I began looking under Trimark to see if I could find the part. And Trimark did show me that there was a part available. I believe their part number was a 0600650. So it's 060-0650. However, they also indicated that that part had been superseded by 060-1650. However, I had a hard time finding a way to order those from Trimark. They have a distributorship, but I couldn't find anybody really local. So I did try to get onto Amazon, and I found out that Trimark is actually owned now, I believe, by RV Designer is the name of the company, and RV Designer carries the Trimark products under different part numbers. And actually that particular part is a T507 from RV Designer. When I ordered the part, this is how it came. It came in this box, and the T507 number is shown right here. There's also a T505. The difference is that the T505 does not have a deadbolt, whereas the T507 does. So you'll want to look that up. Now, to further complicate matters, when I ordered this, or when I looked this part up on Amazon, it actually came up under two different Amazon listings. There was a T5079, and then there was a T507. They looked identical to me, and when I think what I ended up doing is going through the reviews and trying to find out if anybody had noticed the two parts existing on Amazon, to try to find out what the difference was between those two. And it turns out that the T5079 was Amazon's attempt to somehow change the part number in Amazon, which doesn't make sense to me, but they didn't know exactly how to classify it, so they left it as a T5079. It was a duplicate of the T507, but it cost about $90 more. So the T5079 does not exist in the RV Designer line of products, but the T507 does. So if you get on Amazon, order the T507, and that will get you the less expensive but the same part for this 2007 Four Winds Hurricane, which is now a Thor product. So if you have that old of an RV, chances are you have this Trimark deadbolt latch assembly. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the process of replacing that right now, so hang with me. Okay, so here's what came in the kit. This is the box, and inside was the outside latch assembly, the inside latch assembly, a new striker plate, all the necessary screws, and 2 sets of keys. So pretty much everything that we needed was there and then some. So okay, to start, you remove these 2 Phillips head screws right here that hold the latch assembly tight against the door jamb or the door frame. And these bolts you can leave in. I found out that on this particular motorhome, these bolts are a smaller diameter than the bolts that come attached to the new assembly. And I can show that to you right here. If you look at this assembly, you can see here, it's maybe a little difficult to see, but these are a little bit larger than these. So I had to take these out and replace them with these prior to putting the new assembly in. Because if you don't do that, they do not engage in the striker plate and you can't close the door. When you put these in though, make sure you use a good lock, thread lock product on there to keep these things locked in place. All right, so the next step then, remove the 3 Phillips screws here that hold the inside assembly to the outside assembly. Now, I've already had this out, so everything's pretty loose here. These 2 devices here, these 2 lock handles slip over the top of these shafts right here that control the deadbolt and the locking of the latch assembly. Once that's done, then we can push this assembly out like that, and there it is. Now, what I found, let me pan the camera over here a little bit, is that this laminated surface, this fiberglass surface over the top of the door, over the top of the aluminum, was undercut. It wasn't large enough to accept the new assembly very easily. As a matter of fact, it was even hard for me to get the original assembly out because they just didn't cut this fiberglass to the size of the square hole that you see here. So I just took a knife and trimmed this out as much as I needed to get the new assembly in. So that would be the next step. The next step is take the new assembly, line it up these holes here, push it in, and there you are. That's in place. Then you take the 2 flathead, I mean, they're 2 different kinds of screws. There are these with a flat head on them, okay? And then there are these that have sort of a rounded cap. All right, there are 3 of these rounded caps and 2 of these flathead screws. These flatheads go into the door frame. And you may have to finagle this a little bit to get it lined up. And you want those to be quite snug. Now, like I said, we'll address these in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get the whole assembly put together. Now, take note when you're looking at these shafts of where the flat side is, because the flat side has to engage with the flat on these knobs. Okay, so this one is just about straight down, so I'm going to move this one to be just about straight down. This one is off to the side a little bit. So now I'm going to try to push these on. I'm going to move the camera back over here again. You may have to peek in Once you've got those lined up, they should just snap into place like that. Now, back over here. Be gentle because this might fall apart on you until you get the screws in. So at this point, we take the 3 rounded cap screws, not really cap screws, but they're round-headed screws, and we start those in. And it's important not to tighten everything down snugly at first, get all the screws started, because not everything mechanical is always exactly aligned. And so you want to allow some play to let all of these pieces align with each other. Okay, and that may mean even loosening these back up a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and sandwich these together just a little bit. And now I'm going to bring these in real tight again. Like that. Okay. Now go back and snug these down. Okay. So everything's pretty good. We now have, well, it's locked. So we now have a latch that works. We have a deadbolt that works. So what I'm going to do next is take these screws out. All right, so I'm going to take these out of here. Normally you can't loosen these with your fingers, but like I said, I've had these apart before. All right, and there's a thread locker on here. This is a blue thread locker. And I'm going to have to apply a new coat of it because this stuff is already dry and it's not holding these threads tight. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to let it go at that. All right, so now let's test it. Seems to work well. The next thing we'll do is we're going to make sure that the deadbolt and the latch will lock. Put that in, turn the key to the lock direction. That's locked. I will unlock it now and lock the deadbolt. And it's secure. I'll unlock the deadbolt. And by the way, you'll notice the difference between this new T507 and the original part is that the locking diagrams are opposite. It wasn't intuitive in the old design because you had to turn the keys counterclockwise to actually push the latch in and lock it. It was real confusing when we first bought the RV. They've corrected that in this new design. Now you actually turn the key in the direction of the door jamb so that it's more intuitive, and that is the locked position. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the RV video for today, how to repair your RV entrance door latch assembly. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, please like, leave some comments. I'd love to hear from you. And folks, those of you who are regular subscribers, thanks for watching. I know we have a lot of different interests in this channel, don't we? From tree work to tractors to RVs, electronics, all kinds of things. So hopefully you followed along and just enjoyed being here like I do. So you guys stay kind, stay safe. I'll see you real soon.